Episode 14 begins in an Imperial hangar bay, and we see TK troopers, along with their commanding officer and a clone commando, board an Imperial frigate as they escort clone prisoners, including Captain Hauser from Season 1. While in space, they are attacked by another vessel, one that's very similar to the one they're in as it was stolen, and we see Echo and Gregor, along with other clones, take out all of the TK troopers on board and free the captive clones. Once they reach the bridge, they eliminate the clone commando, who was ordered to begin erasing data files regarding the flight, and the commanding officer bites down on a shocking device to kill himself, and thus not allowing the clones to extract information from him. However, Echo is able to retrieve a decent portion of the files, and they escape from the incoming reinforcements after jumping into hyperspace. The camera cuts to Mount Tantiss, and we see Crosshair being moved to another cell by two TK troopers, and it is here where he, once again, meets with the scientist we saw in previous episodes. After being sat down at an operating table of sorts, Doctor Hemlock arrives and offers Crosshair his freedom in exchange for information concerning the whereabouts of Clone Force 99, specifically Omega. Crosshair exclaims that he doesn't know where they are, and even if he did, the batch would never turn Omega over to the Empire. As Crosshair continues displaying a lack of cooperation, Hemlock is forced to resort to torture via an interrogating droid. The scene transitions to the Coruscant Underground, where the rescued clones are treated, and Echo and Hauser inform Senator Chuchi about what the Empire is doing to the clones. In addition, Echo mentions the data logs he salvaged and says they are heavily encrypted, although he tells the group he knows somebody who can decrypt them, of course referring to Tech. The camera cuts back to Mount Tantiss, where Crosshair manages to grab a blaster and terminate the two TK troopers and probe droid inside the cell, as well as stun the scientist who was tasked with extracting information from him. He escapes his cell and begins heading to a communications array, where he sends a distress signal to his brothers in Clone Force 99, warning them of the Empire's desire to apprehend Omega. However, despite being successful in sending out his message, he is once again detained by Hemlock, where this time he is put under more potent methods of extraction. That said, the camera then cuts to Pabu, where we see Wrecker fishing, and up in the air, Tech teaching Omega how to fly the Marauder. We can see that quite a bit of the island has already been repaired, and Mayor Shep tells Hunter that they've all become an integral part of the society, and asks him if he is considering staying permanently. Hunter tells him that because they're soldiers, it's difficult to stay anywhere for long, and with that, they are interrupted as Omega and Tech soar past them on the ship. After completing her lesson, Omega and Tech are met with the arrival of Echo, and land to greet him along with Hunter. We see Omega jump into Echo's arms and hug him before handing Tech the data rod to begin decrypting. Once again, the scene transitions back to Mount Tantiss, where Hemlock is talking with Grand Moff Tarkin. Tarkin mentions a growing number of rebellious clones, and Hemlock says simply decommissioning problematic clones will not eliminate the threat, and says that if the clones are sent to him, he can deal with them in other ways, resulting in Tarkin telling him he expects a full briefing of Hemlock's plan at the summit. This is interesting because the summit is the title for one of next week's episodes in the two-part finale, which also includes episode 16, titled Plan 99. Anyhow, once Tech is able to retrieve the information, he informs the group about an operation under the control of Dr. Royce Hemlock. This is in reference to Mount Tantiss, although they are still unaware of the base's location, despite now knowing of its existence. We learn Hemlock was expelled from the Republic Science Corps due to his unauthorized and unorthodox experiments. What's more, Tech is also able to uncover Crosshair's message from the base regarding Plan 88, which involves the Empire seeking out Omega, and they are unsure whether it's a trap or not. But I personally think that this time they believe Crosshair has changed after finally witnessing the ruthlessness of the Empire. The episode ends with Crosshair grunting as he is tortured once more into providing the Empire with what they want, as we slowly transition into next week's finale. Personally, I can't wait, and I hope you all enjoyed this week's breakdown. Have a great day. See ya.